Hello students, welcome to the lecture of consumer buying process. It comprises of sequential steps which a consumer follow to arrive at a final buying decision. The slide shows the five stages in consumer buying process as problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, and post purchase evaluation. A marketer must know how a consumer will make a final buying decision. Let's start with the first stage, problem recognition. The consumer buying behavior process starts with the identification of a problem. That means we buy a product when we are facing difficulty due to not having that product. Because as a human being, we all have unlimited wants, but there are some unfulfilled and unmet, which are required to be recognized by a consumer. For an example, I have taken admission in a course where the classes will be conducted online. But the problem is, I don't have any Android phone, so I'm unable to attend the classes. I'm facing difficulty. I have recognized my problem. Now I decided to buy an Android phone. So, this first stage, problem recognition, explains first to identify your problem and then proceed to buy. The consumer buying behavior is affected by internal and external stimuli. Internal stimuli are your internal emotions and feelings that motivate you to buy a product, such as thirst, hunger, and comfort. For an example, I want to have a burger. Why? Because I'm feeling hunger. So that's why I recognize my internal feeling and I decided to buy a product. Next one is external stimuli. External stimuli are the reaction of extrinsic events and forces that motivate you to buy a product. A marketer must understand these factors and develop a strategy that trigger the consumer interest. The second stage is to search information regarding a product. But the question is how a consumer will search. So there are many sources the consumer can use to get the information regarding a product. The consumer will first use the personal sources as family, relatives, friends, and neighbors. He can collect information from them regarding a product. A consumer can also use the commercial sources. That means he can directly go to the store, he can meet to the salesman, dealers, and ask them about the new products, the variety, the designs, and satisfy his information search process. The consumer can also use the public sources as like in newspaper, he can see the advertisement, he can read and he can collect information and he can go further. A consumer can also use his experimental sources. It's like when we buy a product, we get some kind of experience regarding the quality of the product, and uses. So, by the experimental sources, a consumer can also learn. So, after getting information from the relevant sources, a consumer can learn about the different products and brands available in the market. So, the marketer should make efforts to put his brand into the prospects' awareness and choice set of the consumer. The next stage is evaluation of alternatives. So, after getting information regarding a product, the consumer will evaluate the different alternative brands because a consumer cannot buy all the products. He has to select the best one that will offer the maximum satisfaction to the consumer. And when a consumer will evaluate the product, so there are some parameters on which he will evaluate the alternatives, such as the benefits and the facilities offered by the various alternatives, attributes and performance, availability of brand, reputation and goodwill of brand, and also the after sales services provided by companies to a consumer. So, according to them, a marketer should know that what are the parameters a consumer will evaluate the alternatives. This purchase decision stage will enable a consumer to take a final decisions because there are various brands available in the market, and when he has to select the best one. So there are some unanticipated situational factors which may affect a consumer's final buying decisions, such as your family income, your loss of job. There are some other factors also, like increase in the price of the product, the timing of the purchase, and also the terms and condition of the payment. So, in this stage, a consumer will take a final decision to buy a particular product. This post purchase evaluation is the last stage in the consumer buying process. In this stage, a consumer will evaluate his satisfaction after buying a product. That means when a consumer is going to buy a product, he expects some benefits from a product. But after buying that product, if the product fails to fulfill the buyer's expectation, that means the buyer will be disappointed. But if it meets the expectation of a buyer, the buyer will be satisfied. So, if the gap between the expected and the actual satisfaction will be larger, the consumer will be dissatisfied and there will be more chances of the dissatisfaction. So, a marketer should take initiative to minimize this gap or bridge this gap. He can take initiative like he has to invite the suggestion from the consumer that after buying the product, how the product is performing. Are you satisfied or not? So he has to take suggestion from a consumer. And if a product is sold and the product is damaged, so the consumer is dissatisfied. So the marketer must offer him an exchange offer. Definitely, he will be satisfied. And as like the marketer can also send him a booklet to guide that how he can use that product. So as like in the current present time, the marketers are offering the demo classes for this. So this is a good step that they are making their consumer aware about a product. Thank you, everyone.